Hello everyone, welcome to new IAS Daily Current Affairs program. Today is 21st February 2019 and the current affairs topics for today are Vivid 2019, National Rural Economic Transformation Project, Invisible Ink and Indelible Ink, Angel Tax and Alternative Investment Funds. For the map session, we'll be covering Waziristan and last we have PQRS. So coming to the very first topic, that is about Vivid 2019. This was in news because the Minister of Electronics and Information Technology inaugurated Vivid 2019. So what is this Vivid 2019? Vivid, it stands for Vision, Insight and Voices as India Goes Digital. So that is abbreviated as Vivid, and this is an annual event and the major objective is to empower the National Informatics Center officials in the field of technology, right? To empower the NIC officials in the field of technology. NIC stands for National Informatics Center, and this was started, that Vivid 2019 was started in 2017, and this program, this initiative would provide an extensive platform for the interaction and knowledge sharing. So this cover a wide range of relevant topics in various technical sessions, including the emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning and big data analytics, then cyber threats and its countermeasures. All those emerging technologies will be incorporated in the sessions. Talking about National Informatics Center, so this was established in 1976, and since its emergence, it acts as a prime builder of e-government or the e-governance applications up to the grassroots level, and also it promotes the digital opportunities for sustainable development. Alright, so it promotes the e-governance application of the government. National Informatics Center, they have been instrumental in steering the e-governance application in government ministries, also all the departments at the center, then state level, districts and even the block level, and it facilitates for the wider transparency and it promotes decentralized planning and management, and this will result in better efficiency and accountability to the people. So this has got, NIC has got linkages with all the ministries and departments of the central government and also with all state governments and union territories. So there is a program of the government which is known as Informatics-led Development. So this program of the government, it has been spearheaded by NIC, and it is to develop a competitive advantage by implementing the ICT application, that is Information Communication Technology, in the public administration, and this program, it is known as Informatics-led Development, that is spearheaded by National Informatics Center. The major activities which have been undertaken by National Informatics Center are setting up of the ICT infrastructure, that is Information Communication Technology infrastructure, then the implementation of national and state level e-governance projects, products and services, consultancy to the government departments, researchers, then capacity building. Just for your information, that's not really important. And coming to the next topic, that is National Rural Economic Transformation Project. So the cabinet has approved for the implementation of National Rural Economic Transformation Project. So this project is an externally aided project under the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana National Rural Livelihood Mission. Okay. So this is an externally aided project, and this project get loan assistance from World Bank. So the technical assistance provided by the NRETP and the higher level interventions facilitated by the project will enhance the livelihood promotion and access to finance and scale up the initiatives on digital finance and livelihood interventions. Talking about Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission. So it is a flagship program of Ministry of Rural Development. It is a flagship program of Ministry of Rural Development, and it is aimed at creating effective institutional platforms for the rural poor, enabling them to increase household income through, one is sustainable livelihood enhancement, and the second one is improved access to financial services. And this was launched in 2011. So this NRLM, that is National Rural Livelihood Mission, that itself is a recreation version of Swarna Jayanti Rozgar Yojana, and in 2015 the program was again renamed as Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, and the investment is partly supported by World Bank. And the objectives of this are, so it is set out with an agenda to cover 7 crore rural poor households across 600 districts and 6,000 blocks, 2.5 lakh gram panchayat and 6 lakh villages in the country. So this is the statistics or the objective, major objective of NRLM. And the major features are the method of operation. So this mission, it will encourage self-help groups, then producers, collectives, etc. And it also ensures their financial inclusion and livelihood support. And for the implementation, there is active participation of NGOs and there is linkages with Panchayat Raj institutions also. Another feature is universal social mobilization. At least one women member from each identified rural poor household is to be brought under the self-help group network. And another feature that will be participatory identification of poor. So they will be identified through the participatory identification of poor method, and that is dealing from the BPL. So they will be identified through the participatory identification of poor method, and the responsibility of identification of poor is done by the Gram Sabha. Alright, and the different components of the scheme are Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gramin Kaushalya Yojana, Rural Self-Employment Training Institutes, Mahila Kisan Sashактikaran Pariyojana, Startup Village Entrepreneurship Program, Ajivika Gramin Express Yojana, Sales of Articles of Rural Artisan Society Fair. So these are components of the scheme. These are different sub-schemes. I hope you know about these. Please go through all these topics. That will be an additional information for you. That's it. And moving to the next topic, that is about invisible ink and indelible ink. So this was in news because the Delhi-based National Physical Laboratory, they are the creator of this indelible ink which is used in elections, and they have developed a new invisible ink also. So it was developed as a part of pilot project which is mooted by the Mysore Paints and Varnish Limited. So talking about this invisible ink, it is a transparent liquid that doesn't leave a trace when applied on the finger, right? So it is a transparent liquid. We cannot see when it is applied on finger, but it glows a kind of bright orange, which when illuminated with a low intensity beam of ultraviolet light. So in the presence of ultraviolet light, it will show a bright orange color, and this is a biodegradable organic inorganic mixture that could be washed off in 48 hours. It is a biodegradable substance. Please be clear with that. And the ink, it works on the principle of fluorescence, where certain materials emit a characteristic glow when they are exposed to ultraviolet light. So it works on the principle of fluorescence. Now, what is this indelible ink? It is a semi-permanent ink that is applied on the finger of voters during election as a deterrent against voting twice. Alright, so it is a semi-permanent ink, and the chemical which is used in this indelible ink is silver nitrate. silver nitrate is used, and once applied on skin, it cannot be washed off with soap, alcohol or bleach. It will disappear only when old skin cells are replaced, right? It cannot be washed off and it will disappear only when the old skins are replaced. Moving on to the next topic, that is about angel tax and alternative investment funds. So you might have read this topic in the newspaper. The center has notified new rules pertaining to the angel tax. Now, what is this angel tax? So if a company has issued shares to an angel investor at a price that is higher than its fair market value, then that extra amount received by the company, that will be taxed, right? So angel tax, it is a 30% tax that is levied on the funding which is received by the startups from an external investor. Now, it is counted as a income to the company and then that will be taxed, right? It is counted as an income to the company and it will be taxed. Now, what are the new rules which have been brought? The investments up to 25 crore in an eligible company, that will be exempt from the angel tax, right? Investments up to 25 crore, that will be exempt from the angel tax. And an eligible startup, there would be one that is registered with the government and it has incorporated for less than 10 years and it has a turnover that has not exceeded rupees 100 crore over that period, right? This is the criteria for an eligible startup. And investments made by a listed company of a net worth of at least rupees 100 crore or a turnover of rupees 250 crore, they would also be exempt from this angel tax. And the investments made by non-residents will also be exempted. But the category 2 alternative investment funds was not included in the exclusion list, right? So category 2 AIF, they were not included in the exclusion list. I will detail you what it is. So what is this alternative investment fund? AIF, they are any fund established or incorporated in India which is a privately pooled investment vehicle, right? It collects funds from sophisticated investors, whether Indian or foreign, for investing it in accordance with a defined investment policy. And like a National Infrastructure Investment Fund, it is an example of alternative investment fund. So there are different categories of AIF, that is alternative investment fund. So category 1 alternative investment fund are funds, those included, they are considered to have a positive effect on the Indian economy. Those kind of funds are called category 1 AIF, which have a positive effect on economy, like venture capital funds, then social venture funds, infrastructure funds, etc. Category 2 AIF are those which are not covered under category 1 and category 3. And these category 2 funds, they only undertake leverage and borrowing to meet operational requirement for the day-to-day purpose, and these are activities which are permitted by the AIF regulation. Examples include real estate funds, then private equity funds, then funds for distressed assets, etc. Category 3 AIF include very diverse and complex trading strategies, unlike the other two categories. They can even make an investment in listed as well as unlisted derivatives. And same as category 2 AIF, they do not receive any incentive or concession from the authorities, right? Examples are hedge funds and all. That's it. Now moving to map aided program, today we will be seeing Waziristan, and this is a place in Pakistan. In the map you can see this green color spotted place, that is Waziristan. So Waziristan, it is a mountainous region of the Khyber province of Pakistan, and it consists of North Waziristan, South Waziristan and the federally administered tribal areas. And the area, it is mostly populated by ethnic Pashtuns, and they are named after the Wazir tribe. And the major language spoken in the valley of Pashto, that is predominantly the Waziristani dialect. And Waziristan, they lie between the Kochi river in the north and Gomal river in the south. This Kochi and Gomal, all these rivers are mentioned in your NCERTs. So Waziristan, it lies between these rivers, right? I hope you are clear with this location. And moving to PQRS, that is previous year question revision series. The question is regarding the International Monetary Fund, that is IMF, which of the following statement is correct? A, it can grant loans to any country. B, it can grant loan to only developed countries. C, it grant loan to only member countries. And D, it can grant loans to the central bank of a country. So, this is actually a moderate or easy question. You can easily pick the correct statement. So, talking about IMF, International Monetary Fund, it is an international organization and it is headquartered in Washington DC. And the major aim of IMF is to foster global monetary cooperation to secure financial stability, then facilitate international trade, promote high employment and sustainable economic growth, and reduce poverty around the world. These are the major objectives of IMF, and this was formed in 1994 at the Bretton Woods Conference. You might have heard about the Bretton Woods twins, right? IMF and World Bank, they are known as Bretton Woods twins. So IMF, it now plays a central role in the management of balance of payment difficulties and international financial crisis. So now this is the major role of IMF, that is the management of BOP difficulties and international financial crisis. And IMF funds come from two major sources, that is quotas and loans. And quotas, which are pooled funds of member nations that generate most of the IMF funds. And the answer for this question is, it grant loans to only member countries. It will grant loans only to the member countries, right? So from the options itself, you can understand, like it cannot grant loan to any country, like random, any country cannot be granted loan, or then only developed countries. All these are not a proper criteria. So it will grant only to member countries. The right option is C. So with that, we wind up today's class, and you can download the daily current affairs material from the description below. Thank you for watching.